I have audited over 200 ad accounts in my career. And today I'm going to be going through the most common mistakes I see on any ad account. The first one is actually the first place I start on any audit. It's incrementality, tracking, that sort of thing. I look there first because if Meta's not getting a clear idea of who we're trying to reach, it'll never be able to learn from it. That being said, the easiest way to make sure you're tracking incrementality set up properly is doing two things. One, going to Shopify. Look at your total orders last 7 days, yesterday. Choose a time frame, stick to that time frame. How many orders did you get last 7 days? Find where it says purchases, hit view details after clicking the drop down. You'll be shown a graph that looks something like this, and I'm purposely showing you a bad example. If it looks like this, and this server number and the browser number do not match, you have a bad pixel. Now, in there's two types of events, server, browser. Browser fires on the website browser. Server happens on the back end. After the purchase is complete, it then sends a payload of information back to Meta via a server. If those two numbers are mismatched, we are missing data. That being said, it's really straightforward. Make sure incrementality is set up, make sure your tracking is set up. You need some form of custom tracking system. Set up a developer, hire them, let them work through your system. Most of the time, your native tracking system should work for whatever you're trying to accomplish. The next big mistake I find in all ad accounts is this old style running ads from like 2016. It's the idea of having a top, middle, and bottom of funnel campaign that separating them out somehow does something in the ad account. Truth is, 2026, you don't need to be separating your campaign into top, middle, and bottom of funnel. We can now do that within audience segments. To do that, you just go to advertising settings. You click where it says audience segments. You pull it up. And then in there, you'll see two groups, engaged and existing. Engaged audience is people who viewed, interacted, or communicated with your business but did not purchase. Existing is existing customers, people who have purchased. The way we look at that is we can do it one or two ways. The pixel audience, which isn't the most effective, or an automated audience. A Klaviyo audience, a Shopify audience, depending on what kind of payment plan you have with Shopify. If you have Shopify Plus, you can actually set up Shopify audiences where you import that data directly back to Meta. Now, audience segment is important for two reasons. One, it tells us who we're reaching with our ads. And two, it helps define what a customer is so Meta can learn from it. Remember, every piece of data we give Meta, it learns from. So us saying, this is who my customer is, and this is people who have looked at it, but have not turned into customers. Meta is going to effectively learn from that, take that into whatever it does next. That being said, you do not need to have a campaign for top of funnel, campaign for middle of funnel, campaign for bottom of funnel. Meta, given that definition, would now know who middle, top, and bottom of funnel is, so that way it can reach it on its own. The way we do it now is often statics are designed for more middle of funnel, videos are designed for more top of funnel. If we want a video, or if we want to reach more top of funnel audiences, if we're not spending enough there, we're going to put more videos in the account. If we're not spending enough into the middle of funnel and we're very efficient there, we're going to create some statics we're going to push there. The next big mistake I see companies making all the time is just not getting enough creative production. I went and looked at an ad account for a brand managing about $800 a month in ad spend, really relatively nothing. And what they were doing is they'd produce 10 creatives every few months, once a quarter. Might work if you want to stay small, but if you're trying to grow, that's never going to get you anywhere. The most important piece as we grow is getting content that matches what we're seeing in the account. What we need to be doing is looking at demographics data, looking at placement data, and determining who we need to reach with our marketing. That being said, you go into reporting. You then, what I like to do is typically just remove all columns, except for the ones I want to see. I say gender, age, and give me spend, give me ROAS, cost per purchase, AOV, CTR. Now, some of these are custom metrics you'll have to set up on your own. However, this is the idea of the way I set up my accounts, often when looking at reporting. Now, when I look at this and I say, all right, demographics, who am I trying to reach? I want to produce as much as possible for my most efficient audience for this ad account right here. That most efficient audience is going to be women, 35 to 44, at an 8.86 ROAS, an $18 CAC on $166 in average order value. Very straightforward, very straightforward. What we're really looking to do is find who our most efficient audience is, produce content for that audience, and produce it in mass. That is our ultimate goal. Now, as we take a step back and look at the video as a whole, the three main things I see most brands fail at that you could be improving on today is making sure incrementality and tracking is in place. Make sure that Meta understands what and who is coming in to your business and what that means to you. That's step one. Step two, look at your audience segmentation. Make sure that is correct. Make sure you have a good flow of data back to Meta, so that way Meta knows exactly who to be talking to, who your audience is, and how to reach them. Third, and very final thing, make sure you understand who your ideal customer is, how to reach them, and produce content efficiently that you'll be able to reach them with. Thank you guys so much for watching. I produce content like this as frequently as I can. I try to aim for about 2 videos a week. Feel free to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.